In the quiet countryside of Oxfordshire, where rolling fields stretch beneath wide-open skies, there exists a place that once slipped through the cracks of history, only to be rediscovered centuries later. Known today as the Devil's Quoits, this ancient site carries a story that blends myth, mystery, and the relentless curiosity of humankind. For generations, locals spoke in hushed tones about a circle of giant stones said to have been hurled across the land by the devil himself. According to legend, these stones were part of a dark game, frozen in time as a warning to those who dared to question the unknown. Over time, however, the physical traces of this legend faded. Farming reshaped the land, stones were removed or buried, and the so-called lost henge became little more than a whisper in folklore. But history has a way of resurfacing when least expected. In the late 20th century, archaeologists turned their attention back to this forgotten corner of Oxfordshire. What they uncovered was astonishing. Beneath layers of soil lay the unmistakable outline of a Neolithic henge, its circular ditch still etched into the earth, its structure carefully planned and deliberately constructed. This was no random scattering of stones, nor a simple rural tale. It was evidence of a sophisticated prehistoric monument dating back over 4,000 years, built by people whose lives and beliefs remain largely unknown. As excavations continued, the story of the Devil's Quoits began to transform. The myth of the Devil's Game gave way to something far more profound, a glimpse into the spiritual and communal life of ancient Britain. Imagine standing there thousands of years ago. The air is thick with anticipation as communities gather within the circle. Fires flicker against the towering stones, and voices rise in ritual chants. Perhaps this was a place of ceremony, a site where seasons were marked, where the movements of the sun and stars were observed, or where people came together to honor forces they could not fully understand. The alignment of the stones suggests intention, possibly tied to celestial events, echoing a deep connection between the people and the cosmos. In that moment, the circle would not have felt abandoned or mysterious. It would have been alive, filled with purpose and meaning. Yet, like many ancient places, the Devil's Quoits did not remain untouched by time. The reasons for its abandonment are still unclear. Changing beliefs, environmental shifts, or the gradual movement of communities may have led to its decline. Slowly, the site was swallowed by the land, its significance fading as new generations moved on, leaving only fragments behind. What remained was not just a physical ruin, but a story waiting patiently beneath the surface. When modern reconstruction efforts began, they were guided by careful research and respect for the past. Stones were repositioned to reflect their original layout, breathing life back into a site that had been silent for centuries. Today, visitors who walk among these stones may not hear the ancient voices that once filled the air, but they can feel something else, a quiet sense of connection. The wind moving through the fields, the long shadows cast at sunset, and the stillness of the circle all hint at something greater than what can be seen. The rediscovery of the Devil's Quoits is more than an archaeological success. It is a reminder of how easily history can be lost and how powerful it can be when found again. It challenges us to look beyond myths and legends, to question what we think we know, and to remain open to the stories hidden beneath our feet. Who built this henge? What rituals took place within its boundaries? And why was it ultimately left behind? These questions remain unanswered, but perhaps that is part of its enduring allure. As the sun dips below the horizon in Oxfordshire, painting the sky in shades of gold and amber, the stones stand quietly against the fading light. They no longer belong to myth alone, nor solely to science, but to a space in between, a place where imagination and evidence meet. The Devil's Quoits, once lost, now stands as a bridge across time, inviting us to wonder, to explore, and to remember that even the oldest stories can find their way back into the world. If you enjoyed this story and want more intense thrillers and suspenseful adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with friends who love a good mystery. Your support helps me bring you more stories just like this one.